Human trafficking is the fastest growing black market crime on the planet, second only to drug dealing. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry, estimating $32 billion per year. The victims are American children, youth of all races and all different backgrounds, and range in age from infants to teens. Approximately 80% of human trafficking victims are women and girls, and up to 50% are minors. The global market of child trafficking makes up to $12 billion a year, with over 1.2 million child victims.
The average age of girls forced into the sex trade is 12 to 14. That is middle school age. Minors are sold on average of 10 to 15 times a day, 6 days a week, totaling between 10,000 and 14,000 sex acts a year. The girls receive none of the money. Individuals used in commercial sex live only an average age of 34. 27 million people are trafficked worldwide every year. 300,000 children are trafficked for sex every year. There are more individuals held in slavery today than at the height of the transatlantic slave trade.
Girls are being recruited into the sex trade through advertisements and in malls, in the promise of glamour and free entry into clubs. 1 in 3 teens on the street who leave home within 48 hours will be lured into prostitution.
Less than 10% of state and local law enforcement agencies have protocols or policies on human trafficking. Common locations of human trafficking not only include underground markets, but also legitimate settings such as private homes, hotels, restaurants, bars, etc. An estimated 14,500 to 17,500 foreign nationals are trafficked into the United States each year. The number of U.S. citizens trafficked within the country is even higher than that. San Diego is one of the #1 cities in which human trafficking occurs.
89% of victims want out, but don't know where to turn to get help. Victims of human trafficking often do not seek help immediately due to lack of trust, self-blame, fear, or being directly trained by traffickers to distrust authority. Trafficking is a crime that cuts across race, nationality, gender, age, and socioeconomic background. It is a modern-day slavery meant for all people.
Do you know what human trafficking is? And if so, please describe it.
Well, I think of it as modern-day slavery, where mostly women and children are sold or stolen from their families and taken to wealthy countries where people will buy them and use them as slaves.
I think it would be like if people get taken, like from a third world country or kidnapped or whatever, and they are like sold into like sex slavery, maybe something like that. That's what I think of when I
Human trafficking is the taking of somebody against their own will and forcing them to do something that they don't want to do.
It's the abuse and neglect of certain population by other population.
Where do you think human trafficking is most common?
Developing countries from developed countries.
Honestly, I would say like Africa.
I'd say here in the United States, and maybe then from the United States to an Asian country such as Japan.
How many people do you think are put through human trafficking each year?
But really before, I figure not that many people.
My guess is 50,000.
Minimum, probably like 100,000, max 500,000.
The Polaris Project is an organization working to end human trafficking. They've put many systems in place, such as providing a hotline for victims, outreaching globally with victims, networking with legislators that can make laws to change this, and also providing victims with housing, clothes, food, etc. We are promoting awareness of human trafficking in an effort to change the world and hopefully stop this awful crime. We're selling bracelets that say "A World Without Slavery," and if you'd like to purchase one, they're $2. You can also donate directly to Polaris Project at polarisproject.org.
In 1860, we fought a war to free 4 million slaves. Today, there are 27 million slaves in the world. What will you do?
Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Stand up for a world without slavery.